This is The Leftovers, which is a follow-up to my weekly podcast, Sunday Brunch, which you can find over on secretstageproductions.com, posted every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern. I highly recommend you go listen to it. I am completely biased and think it's a ton of fun. But so far, all of the feedback has been that people love it. So we're going to keep doing what we do, having a good time, recommending that you check it out, and let us know what you think. You can find me on Twitter at tipsy_writer, or you can find Chris on Twitter at casting42 or Mr. CMH. I don't know why he has to be complicated and have multiple Twitters. I really can't keep up. But I am entertained by the fact that recently he started pronouncing Mr. CMH by saying Mr. Km or something. I don't know. It's fascinating, but whatever. So the way this segment works is it's a little more relaxed. Okay, not really. I have a podcast where we eat, and that's the whole point. But during the podcast, there is a segment called Ask a Megan, where I basically solicit questions from you guys and answer them on the podcast. Every week, usually on Monday or Sunday or whenever I remember, I post a question, or I post a tweet on Twitter where I ask for questions on a certain topic. During that time, this opens up the floor where you can send me your questions on that topic, and I will choose a couple of them to answer on the podcast. But unfortunately, I simply don't have time to get to all of them. But they're all really, really good questions, so I want to make sure that if you wanted to hear my answer, that you still have an opportunity to do so. Anyways, enough of that rambling. This week, I asked questions about travel, which is something that I know a lot of you know that I love, and I've been in a lot of cool places, so I feel like we can talk about it, and it'll be pretty fun. Anyway, I'm just going to jump into the questions, because there were some really, really good ones, and if you haven't yet listened to the Sunday Brunch podcast, you can do that over, again, at secretstageproductions.com, and then check out Sunday Brunch. And towards the end, I answer a couple questions, but like I said, not nearly all of them. So anyway, let's jump in. The first question is, what are your top 5 bucket list of travel destinations? This was tough. I have a long list of places I want to go, but if I had to narrow it down to top 5, and these are not in any sort of order because I don't know that I could ever choose which are like, okay, this one is the one I want to go to by far the most. I just chose 5 of them. So 5, Thailand, which I hear has amazing food, and I love Thai food, so definitely Thailand. Argentina, it looks beautiful. Norway and Sweden, I kind of lump together. I feel like those are ones I might do in the same trip. It's just a culture. I love the culture. And then Alaska, which I know isn't, crazy and exotic like some other places, but I really want to go. And I kind of want to go in the winter just to experience it. But I know that that's kind of just flat out hard to do. Anyway, those are my top 5 bucket list travel destinations. Just got to figure out when I can go. If you want to invite me to these places, then that's a definite possibility. Next question. What's the best meal you've eaten anywhere in the world? Oddly enough, the best meal I've ever eaten is where I live. So I'm going to go with the best meal that I've eaten not in San Francisco. In San Francisco, I did have the opportunity one time to eat at a restaurant called Quince, which is a 3 Michelin star restaurant, and it is incredible. And yeah, I highly recommend it if you are ever looking to really impress someone. The best meal I've ever eaten anywhere outside of where I live, that's a really tough one. Oddly enough, the meal that I compare a lot of things to and I go back to are fish tacos that I had in La Jolla, California. And I had them several years before I moved to San Francisco, so it's not like I was like down there. I had them on vacation one time, and they were just amazing. that might partially be because I ate them looking out over the ocean, but still, I compare every taco, fish or not, to those tacos. And I've been back there several times, probably 3 or 4 times since I had them. I think I've been there 4 times since I had them, and amazing every time. I wish I could think of the name of the place, but I just, off the top of my head, I can't really think about it. Next question is, how do you stay healthy while traveling? Easy answer, I'm not very good at it. Other answer is, I find that when you're traveling and you're just out exploring places, rather than getting into a car or taking a cab everywhere, if it's possible for you to get out and walk and see these places, just get out and walk and see them on foot. First of all, you're going to notice a lot more that way, so that's definitely a benefit. And you get exercise. And you might find cool snacks on the way, just healthy snacks. Or see, I'm already contradicting myself. Yeah, I would say just get out as much as possible on foot and explore that way. If you can't, then I would say just try to make the best food choices as you can in the places that you eat. Usually the things, if you're traveling to somewhere that's very different from where you live now, usually the things from like the food of the place you're visiting will have healthy options too. So don't feel like because you're in this exotic location that you can't order something healthy. You just kind of have to be smart about it. Like, yeah, that burger looks really good, but maybe there's a better option. And you'll probably feel better too while you're on the road, because being sick on the road sucks. What is your favorite thing about traveling? There's a lot of things. I like the airplane ride on the way over, if you're taking an airplane. I get car sick, so I'm not super crazy about the car ride. Unless I'm driving, then it's fun. I think I enjoy seeing the way that places are different from where I'm used to. I grew up in Georgia, which is very flat, and there's definitely a southern culture there. And then for the past several years, I've lived in California, which has much more of a city vibe than I grew up in, and more mountains and things like that. So really, I just enjoy seeing the way that the place I'm visiting differs from what I'm used to. And a lot of times I will find a way to capitalize upon that as I travel. For example, I recently was in Glacier National Park up in Montana, and as a way of kind of exploring, I was traveling with my mom. As a way of exploring, we kind of just went up on the mountains, and we did some time-lapse videos and stuff like that, but that's not stuff that I would do at home. So I try to just make sure to make that extra effort to do things that I wouldn't do normally. Like, yeah, it's fun to check out the restaurants and the coffee shops and little stores and stuff like that, but, you know, I can visit a store at home. I don't need to do that necessarily everywhere I go, so I just try to make that extra effort to do different things. Last question. Do you think it's better to take photos when you travel or put down the camera and live in the moment? And this one, I think it has to be a balance. I'm definitely someone who enjoys taking pictures and posting to Instagram, tweeting them out. You know, I'm not, gonna lie about that one. I really do enjoy those things. But I also feel like if you're just focusing on getting the best shot all of the time, or taking a picture of every little thing you come across, then you're taking away from your ability to really enjoy that you're experiencing something so different from what you're used to. That being said, definitely take pictures that you can look back upon and remember your trip. I'm not telling you that you shouldn't spend some time taking pictures, but rather than focusing on taking a picture of everything, just maybe make sure that you are making that extra effort to get out from behind the camera on occasion and really enjoy the living aspect of travel. You don't want to feel like you're traveling to take pictures. You're traveling to experience new things. So make sure that you're actually doing that rather than just taking pictures of every little thing you come across. So yeah, I'd say balance. Anyway, that is all for the leftovers this week. If you haven't yet had a chance to go listen to the Sunday Brunch podcast from this week, I highly recommend you head over to secretstageproductions.com/Sunday Brunch in order to do so. And until next time, I hope you have a great week.